All right, hello, ladies, gentlemen, to all of my viewers, listeners, supporters, to everybody across the world. Jabbar Brown here with you from the musiciantrainingcenter.com. All right, so listen, I got a crazy chord that I want to show you guys today. Now, this chord is especially for the beginners out there. All right, you guys got to try this chord. Got to try it. It's crazy. All right, so we're gonna work this out. So y'all come on in. We're gonna break down the chord and we're gonna apply it with the song. All right, so let's get started. So got a chance to listen to Glenn Gibson. He's playing a song. He's playing a hymn, a song by Andre Crouch. The blood will never lose its power. So I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with that chord. But every now and then, you're playing songs like that. You're playing some hymns, and you kind of know the chords. Maybe you know the song. Maybe you don't. We're gonna work this out in the key of G, by the way. Okay, so kind of know the basic format for the song, and then all of a sudden you hear this crazy chord that you weren't expecting. Right? So that's what happened. And a lot of times you'll hear these professionals like Glenn. These guys are crazy, man. Crazy gifted. Corey Henry, Kevin Powell. There's too many to name, right? But you'll hear them doing these crazy chords. It kind of catches you off guard, and you're trying to figure out, well, what is that chord? That chord is crazy. That chord is nice. All right. So every now and then I have these moments where I'm listening, or I get a chance to hear somebody play. I'm like, man, I've been hearing that chord for so long. I forgot about that chord. Let me see what that chord is. So I had one of those moments. I said, okay, I got to share this, right? So, again, the blood will never lose its power, right? So you're playing along. All right. Way back. Okay. And then you turn around. Right here, walk down. All right, so basic chords, just straight up, right? And they say less is more, so we're gonna see. Let's prove that less is more. So then all of a sudden, you come back around, you hear the same song, same chords. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. When they play the chord, you're like, wait a minute, I wasn't expecting that. What is that chord? We're going to dig into that chord and we're going to talk about it just a little bit. Now, by the way, we're not trying to be real deep today. I just want to show this chord to you. And as a matter of fact, when we cover this chord, you guys make sure, if you can, leave a comment, okay? And let me know how this chord worked out for you. Let me know how it felt to play the chord, or, just what the experience was like when you get a chance to work it out for yourself, okay? So let's go back and I'll show you these basic chords in the song. So we're not really covering the whole song. We want to definitely get to the blood that gives me strength. We want to get to that, all right, and focus on it. So, all right, real basic chords. All right, then we'll do a little, right, walk up. Okay. All right. Now, and what we normally do is that gives me strength. Go to our diminished chord. Okay, and then you might hear, all right, something like that, and it will never. you got those chords, right? Now let's get back to that 4 chord. Now if you're not familiar with your numbers, now this C is the 4 of G, all right? So again, we're trying not to be too deep, all right? We just want to get this chord to you. We want to show you a little bit about the chord, all right? And we want to keep this thing moving, right? So, same song. All right. That gives me. It's one of them chords, man. It's one of them. It just catches you off guard. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this chord. This chord is your D flat 6/9 flat 5. Okay. Now, if you're familiar with your 6/9 chords, all right, let's go up to D flat. All right. If you're familiar with your 6/9s, this is your 6/9 chord. All right, with your D flat on the bottom here. Now, the chord that we're looking at, that we're focusing on, is the D flat 6/9 flat 5. So you might be asking, well, what do you mean flat 5? D flat 6/9 chord flat 5. Okay, maybe you know about the 6/9 chord, maybe you know about that. But what about the flat 5? So basically, in the key of D flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the A flat is 5. What we want to do is flat the 5. When you go back and you flat, okay, we're flattening the 5. So if you're going to go up, I mean, we could consider that sharp, you know, sharp the 5. You're going up, sharp, you're going back, flat, okay? So now we're taking that 6/9 chord and we're going to flat the 5. So we're going from that A flat to the G, right? Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to reposition my chord, okay? We're going here, over this D flat. All right, and then we're going to possibly look at another bass note that we can play instead of your D flat. Okay, and then we're going to talk a little bit about this chord, why it works, you know, or maybe you don't understand how it makes sense or something like that. So we're just going to touch on that a little bit. Again, I'm not going to be deep today. We just want to touch on this thing. I want you guys to take this chord and run with it, have a good time, be creative. All right, so D flat 6/9 flat 5. So I'm taking that 5, I'm going to use that in my left hand, that G, instead of playing it up here. So I don't want to play the octaves, okay? I want to stay away from the octaves, okay? And I'm just going to do this. All right, now this works especially well when someone is singing kind of solo style. This is one of those moments where you can really kind of get off a little bit and play chords like this. It really makes more sense. Now, if you're singing with a group of people and y'all are kind of locked into a certain pocket where you got to sing certain notes, got to be a certain way. Now, sometimes when you play chords like this, people will look at you funny and start wondering what you're doing. All right, that chord, that's not in the song. All right, so certain exceptions for this kind of thing, right? All right, now, so D flat 6/9 flat 5. All right, let's take it a step further. Okay, so what did I just do? Basically, I took 2-finger chords. All right, now, normally we would play the diminished chord. So this B flat on the top, we're still in, right? If we were playing the diminished chord, you know, we'll still be playing this B flat. The blood that gives me strength. I just got it down lower. Okay. All right. So we still got the same B flat in there. But what we're doing is we're playing that D flat 6/9, but we're still trying to stay true to at least, in this case, let's say the person was singing, that gives me strength. All right? And even if they were singing, that gives me strength, that G, guess what? We still got the G in the left hand because we flat the 5. So we're still in there. Maybe we're kind of breaking the rules a little bit. All right? But it still works. Sometimes it still works. Like these is one of those chords that works when you're kind of breaking the rules, because that's not the diminished chord. That ain't the right chord, right? It's the right chord. It's the right chord this time. Okay? But again, basically like when you're playing and you're singing behind somebody, all right, solo style. It's great for solo style stuff. All right, and then there are other songs, like you might be playing, get through playing a traditional song, congregational song or something, and they go to the like the tell them, you know, they might go into something like that. You can apply it there. This is good for the 4 sharp, the 4. All right, and we're kind of in that traditional vein right now, so it works good for this song, and the other song that I just told you was not really a song, but you know, okay, because sometimes like certain singers will do things like if they're incredibly talented singers, every now and then, just like us musicians, singers will do stuff and they'll kind of get off a little bit. You know, they might sing some notes that you know is outside of the traditional way. You know, it's not the regular note for that song, and so that gives us the opportunity to play chords like this. You know, so instead of me going, that gives me strength. Nothing wrong with these chords. Nothing wrong with these chords at all. Okay. All right, but instead of staying in that same vein, they might decide, you know what, I'm not going to sing the G. I'm going to go up to the B flat. Okay, now, I did say that I would show you these chords leading up. So we took it a step further. All right. Let's play this A by itself. That gives me strength. All right. Let's play that by itself. And then from there. All right. 2. All right. Now, something else to consider when you're playing chords like this. These chords really stand out a whole lot when we talked about less is more, right? Well, in this case, that applies. We stay right in the pocket. Okay, we stay right there in that pocket, right? Alright, so when you're in the pocket, you're not doing a whole lot of extra fat chords, runs and different things like that. The less is more really applies to this, because now when you decide that you want to do something, now you want to throw in a D flat 6/9 flat 5, okay, and then you want to add something to it because you know, now maybe you know the singer is going to go, that gives me strength, okay, or maybe you hear that singer, that gives me strength. Now maybe you didn't know they were going to go there, that gives me strength, okay, then you could just kind of go to that chord. All right, solo style, you can kind of, you can be flexible, experiment a little bit, kind of get outside the box a little bit. It's all about the chemistry and the vibe between you and the singer. So if you're singing behind somebody, playing behind somebody who's just incredibly talented, just a gifted singer, runs, rips, doing all kinds of stuff with their voice, it gives the musician the opportunity to do, again, play chords like this. That's outside of the regular diminished chords. All right, this is one of those chords that I would hear every now and then. I would hear people do it and they would kind of, you know, drop with it. All right, and you can so we got your D flat and G here, so let's just say we switch over, okay? All right, just something that you can do. You just kind of play around with that, but in this case, D flat 6/9 flat 5. Okay, it's one of those chords that you hear every now and then. And I heard it the other day. I heard that chord before. Glenn Gibson was just playing a song. I said, man, I remember that chord. I forgot about that. So this is probably one of those chords that you hear the pros playing a whole lot, man. And they throw stuff in there like that. It just kind of catches you off guard. You know how some of us are. We like, oh, that chord was great. What is that? Right? So this is one of those chords that you can just kind of throw in. But make sure, because I don't want you to be disappointed when you play the chord and it doesn't have the same effect, or it doesn't have the effect that you think it's going to have or it's supposed to have. These kind of chords really work. Let's go back. Works well with songs like this. This is a traditional song. The blood will never lose its power. Okay, that gives me. All right, works great over your 4. Okay, and we said we would do. Normally we would play the diminished, but in this case, we'll play the diminished first. We'll stay in the pocket. Then the next time we come back, all right, we switch it on them, and we're gonna play a D flat 6/9 flat 5. They won't see it coming. Right? Right? Okay, now, again, it works well with these types of movements. There are other traditional songs. You can actually, play around with this particular movement. Go up a half step to A flat. Okay? Or, drop it down a half step. Okay, now even with the dropping, you drop it back or roll back a half step, or you roll up a half step, that's also something that you can do with this chord. Okay, all right, so this is the chord. Okay, you can roll up with the chord. You don't necessarily have to go straight to it. That gives me strength. Okay, that gives me. Okay. Okay, so have fun with the chord. Have fun with it. So that's one way to apply it. You're off the 4, sharp the 4, where you would normally play a diminished, and a lot of congregational stuff, some hymns, traditional style music where you're doing that. All right, throw that chord in there, try it out. Okay, and then also lastly, I just want to put emphasis or reiterate the fact that chords like this really stand out, as I said before, when you stay in the pocket. Okay, and maybe everybody knows this particular song that you're going to play and that the choir is going to sing, the praise team is going to sing. We all kind of know that song. All right, these kind of chords add a little extra flair to some of these older songs. Not that you need it, but it's a lot of fun to kind of experiment and do different things, right? So you stay in the pocket. This chord really pops when you come out of the pocket. So when you've been playing regular chords, you might be looking like I'm looking while you're playing. Because you about to throw a chord in there. And it's not about showing off now, really. It's just about having fun. But you kind of know. And people will probably turn around and look at you like, what is he doing? Man, some people, I'm not going to say that. I don't think anybody's going to look at you crazy. I think people, most of the time, it's likely that people will look like, man, that's a nice chord. That's a nice chord. Same thing I did when I heard it. I was like, yeah, I remember that. I've heard that before. What was that chord? Let me break it down. Right? So again, it really pops when you come out of the pocket. Now, if you're already playing a bunch of fat chords, then it may not have the same effect, or it may not have the effect that you're really looking for. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully I wasn't too redundant about that. All right. So the last thing that I wanted to show you was bass line. So normally we're playing a D flat. That gives me strength. So we sharpen the 5, we're going up a half step from all right, let's use a G. So I want you to use the G and use the D flat, okay? All right. All right. See, even with using this G, right? It's a part of our chord. Like, it's that we flatted the 5, okay? Or I'm just gonna say it like that. We flatted the 5 to G, right? Normally we would play the D flat. So experiment a little bit. Instead of going to your D flat, throw that G bass in there, okay? Okay, and then your B, play a B instead of your D. All right, 2. All right, or so you would be on your E. So basically, you would go from there to resolve that chord, okay, and then you're home free. And I did this before. All right. So that's the lesson, man. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. Nice chord, man. And keep in mind, a lot of times, again, I want to say it again, I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Less is more. Okay, so you don't have to play a whole lot of fancy chords to get that crazy effect. You can play simple chords, like, well, I say simple, but I don't think this is a simple chord. This is a nice chord. It's really nice. Depends on how you apply it. Like we applied it today. Okay, it's out the box. All right, it's out of the pocket. It's a crazy chord. All right. Less is more. And then there are times when you can play a combination, of chords like this, and it still kind of has that good effect. It just depends on how it's linked together. Okay. But with songs like this, especially like your traditional songs, The Blood Will Never Lose Its Power, and others, I call that little medley. A lot of times when somebody will sing, yes, yes, or yeah, oh yeah, yeah, tell them yeah. Okay. That song. Excuse my singing now. I'm not really trying to sing. I'm just trying to get us through. All right. So hopefully this makes sense to you. I hope that you guys enjoy this chord. I want y'all to have fun with it. Like, think outside the box, like what I said to do. Instead of having that D flat on the bottom, that changes the chord, of course. But just try it. See what I'm saying? Just try it. All right, and then I just kind of switched it up. All right. Experiment, make mistakes a little bit. All right, but try it, have fun. Okay. And make sure, I'd love to hear back from you guys. Stop by, leave some comments. Let me know how it went. Let me know what you did. If you had another great idea, I'm going to use the word morphed. You morphed this chord into something even crazier. I'd love to hear about it. Leave some comments, man. But you guys, let's continue on this journey together. Let's do the work and see the results. You guys stay focused, keep pushing, keep pressing. We'll do this thing together on this journey. We'll keep pushing. We'll have some fun. We'll break down some more stuff. All right, and we're going to do what we do. All right. So I enjoyed this lesson with you guys, teaching this lesson to you all. Again, I hope y'all have fun. I hope this blessed you. To some of you intermediates and advanced, not sure. Maybe you already know this chord. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't know it. But if you didn't, if this was something new for you, I'm glad I could help you guys. Y'all tear this thing up. Have a good time as well. Intermediate and advanced. definitely you beginner guys. So everybody. All right. So with that being said, you guys take care and be blessed. Jabbar Brown signing out. Till the next time.